Welcome to Share Your Story with Maggie Kunsky and
Marjorie Germain.
well, today we have with us a special guest. She's an entrepreneur. She's done different things throughout in this community. She has a few things that I know that my people are gonna like. And even if you're not Haitian, I'm sure you've heard of pickles. In a little while, she will tell you more about it. Welcome, Dherlie. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Wonderful. So nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
I have heard a lot about you, about the product that you are actually selling in the community, the work that you're doing to your organization, and how you're really changing a lot of things. So we are eager to hear your story, a little bit about you. The community would like to know how can they reach out to you as well. We just really gonna be asking you a lot of questions. Are you ready for this journey?
I'm ready.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Welcome, Dherlie.
Thank you.
And as you guys know, pickles is one of our signatures, a Haitian signature, where whatever we're eating, most of us, but anyway, we gotta have pickles with it, okay? So like earlier, I just had some soup and I put some pickles in it.
Yes.
Because pickles just spice up everything.
Yes.
So, Dherlie, please tell us, before we even get to the pickles, tell us a little background about yourself. Were you born here?
I was born in Haiti, and as most of us, my parents migrated from Haiti. When I was 10 years old, we first lived in New York, and a few years after that, we moved to Miami. So, I'm born in Haiti.
The question I always ask, where do you like better, Miami, Florida or New York? We are better here.
I like Florida better.
Yay!
I like Florida better. I do.
Yes,
I really
definitely. No cold. The people are not as rude.
Well,
That's questionable.
question mark.
It depends on where you are.
Where you are,
Yes,
right.
yes. Wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay, now tell us about how you started in the pickles industry.
Well, my dream has always been, I work in healthcare traditionally, but my dream has always been to be a chef, a culinary chef. So while I was working my 9 to 5, I went back to school and became a culinary chef. And so I used to do, catering and cooking for families and things like that. And I would make pickles to go along with it because what's Haitian food without pickles, right?
Yes.
So my family and my friends, they loved my pickles and was like, well, have you ever thought, about selling it in the supermarket? Because there were some that was already in the supermarket. And I was like, I make it for my food. These people, they've been around a long time. They have a name behind themselves. I didn't really had the confidence. So a friend of mine pretty much was like, you're doing it. And so, he, kind of pushed me to do it. And we came up with a name and just, started pushing it because, I already had some background in selling stuff in the supermarket. So I did research, went through the FDA, did everything that I needed to do to get it going because I wanted to do it right. I didn't want to do nothing tomato. I wanted
That's
to do
right.
it
No,
right.
nothing halfway.
Yes. I don't like to do things halfway, so I wanted to do it right. I wanted my label, everything
Yes.
to be professional and
Wonderful.
So I went from there and that was it.
Now you mentioned how that friend pushed you and insisted, basically motivated you to go through with it. And sometimes, guys, that's what we need. That true friend, it could be a family member or whoever it may be. The same way you'll find those, the naysayers, who will tell you that, it's not going to work, don't do it, what were you thinking, are you crazy? But be like Dherlie's friend, and if you have anybody you know of that is considering doing anything, pursuing a dream, please push them. Now you also touch about how you studied as a chef.
Yes.
Please do tell us, how did you make the transition or decided to go fully being an entrepreneur?
Well, I would love to say that, I left but I was kind of pushed out.
Honesty, guys, honesty.
I was working for a big corporate job for 12 years. I was there for 12 years, and then they had a huge layoff. And so I was part of the layoff, and instead of, going out to frantically look for another job, because I was working and doing my business part-time. So instead of, diving head, start to look for another job, I was like, you know what, I can work my business more. And I started doing the business more and more and more. And I was like, okay. Once it started sustaining me, I was like,
Goodbye.
okay.
I like that. I like
9
that.
to 5, goodbye.
Yeah, this is really a good example of, for so many people who are watching right now, because too often people don't understand why things happen, right?
Yes.
And just because you got laid off from a job, or just because something got taken away from you, that doesn't mean it's the end. It's often the beginning of something else. But if you don't push forward, if you don't take some time to find out, well, what is it I'm supposed to do? In your case, you already had the business.
Right.
And this opportunity gave you the time to actually make it grow, right?
Yeah.
And then tell us, how did the journey go after that? Once you start, investing time into the business.
Well, it was going well before, when I was doing it part-time. But doing it full-time, there's, the uncertainty. When you're working a full-time job and you're getting a salary, okay, every so often you're going to get money, you can bet on it. But being an entrepreneur and doing that full-time, if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get any, So there were, some days I have a bunch of, online sales. Some days I go to the stores and they want a whole bunch of stuff, but some weeks there's nothing. So it's been challenging, but if you have a passion for what you do, and if you're motivated by sustaining life, just, sustaining your way of life, you're going to keep going. So that's what's, kept me going, because I'm passionate about what I do. And also I need to pay my bills.
So what I've heard from you is, number one, that I really want to acknowledge is passionate.
Yes.
Because if you don't have that passion to do something, you're not going to want to continue whenever times get tough, right?
Yes.
And also, you talk about, having the income coming to you. And sometimes that passion has to succeed. Or just really has to be the motivation, because sometimes you might not get as many clients as you want. But if you decided that, you know what, I'm not making enough money, then I'm going to just go and work for someone else, we wouldn't be having this conversation today.
No, we wouldn't.
So the idea is, although entrepreneurship can be challenging, but we're telling everyone, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Right? Just follow it. Just listen to the little clues and keep going. Yeah.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
Keep going. Like Maggie was saying, that determination. Be determined. Because it's easy to have an idea. It's one thing to have it. It's another to see it through. But the biggest challenge is continuing when times do get tough. When it's time where you have no clients, it's not selling, whatever it may be. Do you give up? Do you turn around? No. That passion, that fire, let it keep on burning within you, and just see beyond, pretty much beyond what's happening at that current time, and believe in yourself to know that it's gonna be better times.
Let me ask you a question though. Did you find yourself, and when times were rough, did you get any support financially? Is there any organization that supports someone, an entrepreneur like you who has their own,
I believe they are organizations and grants for women, but I personally have not been successful at obtaining those grants and those funds available, which I'm looking into if you know anybody. But I've been pretty much funding it myself, and the people who's been more supportive are family members, my sisters, and I have, close friends who have been very supportive. They donate their time to me, and they're, so that's, and my son, I forgot my son. Yes, he's been my biggest supporter, the helper or whatnot. So, yeah.
Great to hear, Dherlie.
Yeah.
Now you have mentioned, we talk about how you went from a chef to being an entrepreneur. Now, you are currently in about how many stores?
Well, I'm currently in about 15 stores. I started with a lot more, but with COVID and everything that's happened, I've had to scale back. But right now I'm in 15 stores throughout Dade,
And that's what we're
Broward,
going to elaborate about. How did you go about finding the stores or convincing the stores to actually sell your products?
Well, okay, so I'm in Pikliz sold itself. If you're Haitian and you've had pickles, you know it's delicious, you know. But a lot of the stores that I'm in, they don't know what it is. A lot of them do know what it is, but a lot don't. So what I do is taste demos. I offer to come in the store with my pickles, and sometimes I bring griot and banan and stuff. Yeah, and
So the chef kind of follow you along. It came handy.
And I bring my little cook. You know, if anybody follow me on social media, you'll see me with my little burner and my little frying pan. I'll cook sausages or whatever, and I'll have people taste it, and then they'll buy it right there on the spot.
Wow.
Like I've had stores who's like, I don't know what it is, I don't want it. I said, let me do a taste demo and let me, you know, and then so right then and there when they see that whatever I brought is sold out, they don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Because the people, they gotta give the people what they want. So yeah, so it's just a matter of talking to them, letting them know what it is. If they don't know, showing them what it is, and 9 out of 10 times they buy it.
Now, since it's food related, I would think the stores might be hesitant and knowing what are the ingredients and if it has been tested. How do you go about proving to them that it's safe and it's been tested and all that?
Okay, I have a certificate from the FDA and a certificate from the lab that shows that it has been tested and that it's safe for human consumption. I have a shelf life certificate. I also have a food handling certificate, serve safe certificate, and also I had to take a course to learn how to properly can food canning and food handling. So I had to do all of that in order to.
So as you heard, guys, she did not go the back route. She did everything necessary. And that is one thing we must consider as well when we thinking on venturing into the business world. Don't just come up with anything. Do the research. Make sure you get all the proper licensing, FDA, whatever it may be. And because of that, I'm sure when you present yourself to the stores and present all those, that makes, I don't want to say an expert, but the credentials validated you and basically sold it for you in a way. Yes, the pickles is good, but if, as you know here, people are quick to sue. Therefore, having it been tested and FDA approved, that made it, like you say, it sold itself. That is wonderful to hear.
Speaking of suing,
yes,
liability insurance.
Liability, oh, another, yes.
You have to purchase liability insurance because just in case somebody does decide to sue you.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Dherlie. Tell us more about that. What is it, and how they could go about obtaining it?
Well, there are different companies that sell liability insurance. I personally use Flip. It's FLIP. And you purchase it, you can pay it for the year or you can pay it monthly. And most stores require that you have at least $1 million. Some store require $2 million. So depending on how much you decide to you get is what you're going to be paying monthly or annually.
Now, that insurance, does it cover if somebody do sue you at some point? Then it will handle that. It will not come to you personally, not Dherlie, but the company.
Right. It covers me and it covers the supermarket. So whatever supermarket I'm in, I write their name on the certificate and I give them a certificate saying that if something happened, you know, like if someone consume it and come back and can prove that it's because of it that they're sick or whatever it is, they won't sue the store or me, that they're, you know, we have liability insurance that can cover
so
that.
the store will not be held liable or responsible. Therefore, that's a great way, like she said, to be insured. Make sure you're covered out there. No matter what business you're doing, be covered. It's very important.
Yeah. And one of the reasons we're talking about these things is because there's so many entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So
we
many
do.
people, especially after COVID, lots of people at some point or another decided, okay, well, I'm not going back to work. I have a skill that I've ignored all these years, and I'm gonna, go for it and give it a try. But people are afraid, well, what if somebody sue you? Because we often look at the worst thing that can happen
Yeah.
instead